Good evening, everyone. I'm John Brennan, and welcome to Leichhardt Oval for Cup Final night number 12. And tonight's Cup Final, a real classic confrontation of two champion schools. Christian Brothers Lewisham, Cup finalists on 2 occasions. And their opponents, St Gregory's College from Campbelltown, who've won, or should we say, reached 5 Cup finals, having won on 3 occasions. Well, now the teams are ready for the Commonwealth Bank Cup final of 1986. So let me have the opportunity of introducing, first of all, Christian Brothers Lewisham. And have a look at that banner. Introducing number 1 and fullback, George Coolan. Number 2 and playing on the left wing, Joseph Jennings. 3 and at inside centre, Mark Hanold. His centre partner, outside centre number 4, Patrick Malloy. On the right wing and number 5, Jim Unwin. And 5/8 wearing number 6 is Patrick Hickey. Let's introduce number 7, the halfback and what's more, the skipper of Lewisham, Kevin O'Neill. At number 8, their lock forward, Reg Fidel. Number 9 in the second row, Paul Dewey. His second row partner wearing jumper number 10, Ian Colasso. Number 11 and prop forward, John Sukar. Number 12, their hooker is Scott Quinn. And finally, and no means least, number 13, their prop forward, Brendan Osborne. Well, there you have them, Christian Brothers Lewisham, right through a magnificent season through to Cup final night. And all is in readiness now to introduce St Gregory's College, Campbelltown. And at number 1 and playing fullback tonight is Darren Smith. Number 2 and on the left wing, Peter Clifton. Wearing jumper number 3 and playing inside centre, Stephen Neelan. 4 and his outside centre partner, Michael Kirkman. On the right wing, number 5, Damien McManus. Number 6, and at this stage, they're 5/8 and leading our player of the year up until tonight, Damien Kenneth. Number 7 at the halfback spot is Matthew Fuller. Locking the scrum and wearing jumper number 8, Anthony Quayle. Number 9 in the second row, Paul Green. Number 10 in the second row, his second row partner and skipper, and a popular one at that, Tissi Finnecafaloo. Number 11, prop forward, Robert Hansen.
Rez, I thought maybe when you get out of hospital, you and I could go and have a hit together.
Oh, yeah, you bet.
Ah, they said I might find you here.
Oh, hi, Mum. How's it going?
Good. The interview's finished. Went really well.
Yeah, I knew it would.
Huh?
Oh, Andy.
Is Mr. John Gosher. Well, there we are, a game that promises so much. Flat-out action. They just love a game of football, these two. They met in the Cup final in 84. And St Gregory's won 16-10, so can Lewisham take revenge tonight? Skyrockets from the fine international fireworks company, in fact, run by a former St Gregory's boy, and we're getting it over there on the left. Cameras catching the action for you, and absolutely superb. Billy Anderson, my co-compere, and of course the convener of the Commonwealth Bank Cup. What's your view on the game tonight?
Very even one, John, going to be decided by the bounce of the ball. I think it's worth making the point at this stage that neither of these sides have had an easy road through to the Cup final. They've both had some very close games and could have easily lost first or second round games, but they're the two teams that have come through. They've thoroughly earned it because they've stuck to their task, they've done the job that's required, and now it all comes down to 60 minutes football.
Does it ever? Typical fine night here at Leichhardt on Cup final night. No breeze to speak of, flags just completely limp. Statistics, as always, looked after by our good friend Ray O'Donnell. And of course tonight, again, we'll be making the decision on the Player of the Year. At this point in time, any one of a number of players could win the Pro Row 2000 exercise machine, kindly donated by Hydra Fitness. Incidentally, Lewisham in sky blue and gold, running left to right. St Gregory's in sky blue and maroon stripes, and St Gregory's will get first touch of the ball. On 4 points, incidentally, Reg Fidel at Lewisham, Damien Kenneth of St Gregory's, and Tessie Finnecke-Fallu of St Gregory's. Finnecke-Fallu is in jumper number 8, Kenneth is in number 6, and for Lewisham, Fidel is in number 8. They're the boys, and on 3 points, Kevin O'Neill from Lewisham, and he's the halfback at number 7. So we're up and away, but Lewisham with the ball, coming through strongly is Malloy, but as you can well appreciate, early moments of anxiety, which always seems somebody to cough up balls early, and early pressure on the side that commits those unfortunate errors.
John, I expect there to be a lot of handling mistakes early in this match until the boys settle down. In particular, I think Lewisham's the side that'll make them. They're the team that likes to throw the ball around, and in a final, you don't really have that luxury, and it might take them a few minutes just to settle into their pattern.
Okay, Hodgins at acting half, and here is Kenneth. Kicking looks pretty good too, and finds touch nicely. That's a good belt, and he's found touch midway between the quarter and halfway in Lewisham's territory. They were grand finalists in 84, Tamworth knockout winners in 85. They shared the MCC premiership last year. Too many have said that their pack is too small, but they've overshadowed everybody, and their backs have demolished all opposition in a very, very convincing manner. It's a super outfit, could get the money this year. They're on your left, but it's Gregory's with the ball. Kenneth. And very smartly there to shut them on down. Graham Hughes, incidentally, is joining us on the sideline tonight. Graham, your impressions first up of who you think may win here tonight?
Well, I like the Lewisham side. They're a much more natural football team. They throw the ball around, as Billy Anderson said. They might come up with a few more mistakes early on. Campbelltown came up with the right tactics where their 5'8" Kenneth found touch early, trying to help the side settle down. We've just seen another turnover now. The teams just shouldn't be trying to force the pace in these first 10 or 15 minutes. Lewisham especially, as Bill said, they like to spread the ball to their back line. They've got a lot of ball ability out there. They should be just trying to hammer away in the forwards for this first 5 or 10, settle the play down. This is where it can be lost.
Graham Hughes with comments from the sideline. This is Patrick Malloy, and it's a good belt as well, and finds touch just a little over halfway in Gregory's territory. So Lewisham with the ball. Malloy coughing it up in the first couple of minutes of play. Let's see if they can settle on down. Taking the free is Quinn. Coming onto it beautifully is John Sukar, Balmain flag boy from the De La Salle Miracle College, and a good footballer too. He'll take it up all night. Coming back from Quinn, and up there O'Neill trying to burrow on through. Had a try against Hawker, played in the 84 Cup final. There's the coach, Peter Mulholland of Gregory's, and this is Fidel getting it to O'Neill. O'Neill trapped in centre field. Out to Osborne, his brother. Paul playing now reserve grade for St George. This young fella down there wearing jumper number 13, and his brother Paul captained Lewisham in the 84 grand final. Ricochet taken by Gregory's through their centre, Steve Nealon. And on the score of experience and running and feeding his outside supports, he's pretty good. So Gregory's now trapped at just about 12 metres short of their own side of halfway. Here goes Kenneth with the kick, and be taken here by Coulin. He's a very smart runner. Try against Marion, crackling pace once he gets an opening. So from Quinn, it comes to Fidel. and he gets play almost up to halfway.
Fidel's a man that'll need to be given a lot of attention by St Greg's tonight. He's probably the most damaging runner in the Lewisham side, and they'll have their eye on him.
Yes, he's the elder statesman of the pack, Billy. He dashes around Leichhardt all night in attack and defence. He's always in the thick of things. And he was really keyed up there down in the dressing room. Okay, we have a player injured in back play here for St Gregory's, and it was their flock forward Anthony Quayle, but he's tough as a mulga tree and he's up or ready to go. So they've taken the penalty and play midway between the quarter and halfway in Gregory's territory. Plenty of ball with Lewisham. Here's the free from Quinn. Boring onto it again is Osborne, competing with the Gregory defence. He's 30 metres out from Gregory's goal line. Taking it through now is their second rower, Paul Dewey, a school prefect, puts in a great effort always. Now they're spreading it wide. O'Neill, Hickey, the touch onto Malloy. There's the loop, but they're not fooled, and Gregory's stopping. Again, 30 metres out from Gregory's goal line. In there doing defensive work, Fuller. They still keep it on the left. Coming with it now is O'Neill. Holding up the ball, and it's a lovely cut out. Wide out to Hickey. Hickey back on inside. Jennings with it, but good cover over there by Whale. And they're just on Gregory's quarter. Here is O'Neill now. Holding up the pass, gives a nice one. Perrin blocked down though. Sukar at least, right on the quarter. And this is the last one coming up on Lewisham. Through Fidel. Now O'Neill with the boot. There's a lovely prod through. Well taken. Kirkman, Michael Kirkman, very strong runner and a good handler of the ball. On his quarter, 0-0 here in our cup final night after 5 minutes of play. There was the nicely picked up there by Kirkman.
Both sides are playing pretty well here at the moment, particularly in defence. The line hasn't been broken on that many occasions, and what I'm liking most about the players is they're finishing off their tackles. They're going in hard and they're making sure the man's going on the ground.
Kenneth, I tell you what, they won't want to let him go. He's got safe hands and he hedged the edge on the opposition with a lot of pace. He's quite an outstanding player. Here he is kicking for line again. Coolan is there. It's going to be Coolan. Beautiful again. Nice gain of about 32 metres.
That was a good kick by St Greg's. Found touch well.
There it is. 0-0 in our cup final night between Lewisham and St Gregory's.
Bills.
Running it just inside the quarter, good, tight and snug. Won by Lewisham. Here comes O'Neill, but he's trapped and they're in there very smartly. Good, tough stuff, and they button him up. So Fidel from acting half, or Jennings it is. Outside the quarter, the tackler is Fuller. Again, it's Quinn, and finding Fidel again, getting a ball away, but not a good one to Sukar. His opposite prop, Hansen, picks up. He's a fellow who does very well, taking the ball up all night long. So Gregory's with the ball, coming now over the advantage line, but Fidel pushes him back. He'll do a ton of defence, this fella. Okay, from Hodgins. Big hit on Perrin. Hodgins again. Knock on, so we have referee Gosher putting down a scrum about 11 metres short of halfway in Lewisham's territory. It's their Diamond Jubilee year at St Gregory's. They've already claimed the Campbelltown knockout this year, and should they win the cup tonight, they'll equal the record held by Patrician Brothers Fairfield, and that means that they'll have won the cup on 4 occasions. So referee Gosher requires it to be put in again. It's Gregory's. Kenneth coming a fairly wide blind. Oh, he's trapped on the place. He's over the corner. Back inside. Beautiful stuff. This will be Nealon going over. Yes, just what they wanted. First points on cup night. They burst on the board and they did it so comfortably. They lead 4-0.
Well, in this try, you can see why Damien Kenneth is the leader at this stage and our superstar. A beautiful run back to the blind side. He dummied to the supports outside. The defence fell for that dummy. They hung off him. He had enough pace to get in behind them. Nealon loomed up in support on the inside and came up with a great try.
Well, he has he keeps his opposition on a leash all night long. Look at this fella scamper. He delivers a beautiful pass on the inside to Nealon, and Nealon goes over to score with a desperation tackle there from Fidel. Swooped in like an eagle, but as I said, you just have a look at him. There's a lovely dummy there, lovely feint. He dodges the defenders every time he gets the ball. He's a very complete footballer, this young man. Kenneth, first points on the board, St Gregory's. Prospects of Greg's making cup final night have looked bright all year, and certainly after they downed Holy Cross Ride 12-0. So Kenneth will attempt to convert his own try. Approaching the ball now, and that one is one up, one down, and referee Gosher says no goal. So the scoreline, St Gregory's College Campbelltown hitting the front on cup final night, leading Christian Brothers Lewisham by 4 points to 0. Well, we had a super game with Ryan and Gregory's, and then, of course, they played the top school from Queensland last week in Keebra Park and only just won it, a try separating them. The top school from Queensland, outstanding they were. And because of the fluctuation fortunes in both games, we had wonderful performances and spirit from both sides. So Finica Fallu now, their skipper, bringing it forward for Gregory's. On the sideline, Graham Hughes and has Rossi Conlon.
Ross, a school teacher at Christian Brothers Lewisham, that's not the sort of start they were searching for.
No, mate, I'm sure they wouldn't like the try against the so early in the game, but they're a good side. They're capable of coming back.
Plenty of problems the 5'8", Kenneth has caused.
Mate, he's a good player. I've seen him play on a couple of occasions, and they've been talking about him all week, actually, about how they'd have to watch him. As I said, he set that try up, so he's the man of the night so far.
The school side of yours, Lewisham, they do love to throw the ball about.
Mate, they're an undisciplined side, but it pays dividends because they throw the ball around, they throw it nice and wide, and they score lots of tries and they play attractive football.
And they also tell me there's a Ross Conlon around the corner kicking in the side.
Mate, there's a young bloke that kicks goals, a centre, yeah, and he kicks the ball a long way. He's very good.
All right, thanks for joining us. We look forward to these guys hitting back strongly.
Pleasure, mate.
And the fellow he's talking about is Mark Hannell. Thanks very much indeed, Ross. He kicked 4 out of 8 goals against Hawker, scored a try, and very similar to the Ross Conlon approach to the ball. And I tell you what, he's a dead-eyed Dick. So we have a scrum going down 10 metres out from Lewisham's goal line, and Gregory's leading 4-0 on cup final night. We saw some good hits out there and some good surges too from the Lewisham players, but equally good defence from Gregory's. So here is O'Neill trying to make a bust. He's doing the attacking 15 metres out from his goal line, held by Whale. From Quinn coming to Sukar. And back on the inside, but Whale again in there with excellent defence from Gregory's. Now here comes Quinn. He's quite good at acting half-back. A try against Hawker, a school prefect, gives his side a lot of ball. Very elusive and intelligent at acting half. And Fidel trying to run it. Green around his bottom. And he made a good strike for Lewisham. So Quinn at acting half, lays it back straight away from Malloy. He gives it a good thud. A left footer, as you can imagine. And picked up here nicely by Damien McManus. He's a good, big, strong winger and a good runner. A try against Keebra Park, always safe and a very keen struggle. Damien Smith, tremendous drive when he runs. He's fullback. Now it's Hodgins. Held up here nicely for Fuller. Finica Fallu, looked after there by Patrick Hickey, who now plays rugby union with Drummoyne. He's the 5'8" for Lewisham. Through Fuller. Kenneth, nice reverse stuff. Coming onto the ball smartly was Green, but the Lewisham defence holding well. 10 metres now inside Lewisham's territory. Kenneth, good ball to Kirkman. Bad pass and knocked on by Lewisham. Scrum to go down midway between the quarter and halfway in Lewisham's territory, and Gregory's leading 4-0.
If Lewisham can win this scrum, we'll try to identify one of the problems they're having. There's no doubt they're a side that can move the ball around and move the ball from one side of the field to the other very well. But I think it's in the centre of the rucks that they're going to have a problem tonight. And by that I mean their inability to take the ball up in the centre and to make yardage in that area. And it's all well and good to be able to move the football, and that'll be successful for you against very weak defence. But when you're playing against a side like St Greg's that have got good defence, you've got to be able to make those hard yards up the middle. And I'm not sure just at this stage that Lewisham are capable of that. Anyhow, let's see what unfolds.
Okay, that was Malloy, and it's Hong, high and long and spinning. He went deep for it and found touch about 30 metres out from Gregory's goal line, and bursting onto it now is Osborne. He takes the tackle, but it's a good large gate, about 12 metres, and Scott moves into acting half. Scott Quinn straight away to Sukar. Giving it to Colasso. Finica Fallu has got it for Gregory's, and so has Kenneth, and he's doing his magic again. A couple of metres short of halfway, and Gregory's with the ball and looking very smart tonight. Finica Fallu, lovely pass. Smith linking up fluently, and he's right to halfway. So Gregory's. Fuller in the Australian under 15 side, the young halfback, a great team player, praves constantly. There's a nice ploy, and here comes Kenneth again. Aria, beautifully taken. It's a try to Kenneth. Yes! Oh my goodness! Just the attacking flair of Kenneth. Back with a vengeance that would send chills of joy down your old spine. What beautiful work. They lead 8-0. St Gregory's. Oh, crack stuff.
Well, you'd go a long way to see a better individual try than this. Kenneth summed up the situation well. He realised he could chip over the top and had a good chance of contesting the ball and recovering it. That he did. He caught it on the full and then crashed his way over to score a magnificent individual try.
Just the sheer acceleration of this bloke off the spot, and he's got a lovely floater over the top as he chipped it. Coming at him, of course, trying hard to bring him down was Jim Unwin, but he reached over beautifully to score that try. Here is the replay again. A fellow with marvellous gifts. He's so crisp and a beautiful take there. And here he goes for the line. And this is young Damien Kenneth, leader in our Player of the Year. So we have a different kicker too. I think it's Finica Fallu who's going to try and convert this try of Kenneth. 8-0, it's a good start on Cup final night, and after only 14 minutes, Tissi Finica Fallu plays with tremendous reserves of pride and talent, this fella. No-nonsense footballer. You'll see him run all night, you'll see him defend all night. So he's going to get this. Hits it firmly, accurately, and scores the 2 points. So can Gregory's College Campbelltown leading Christian Brothers Lewisham 10-0. Cup final night at Leichhardt. And tested methods. They've lifted them right from the ruck and hailed them as one of the competition's most respected sides this year. 79 they beat Holy Cross, 80 they beat Holy Cross, 84 they beat Christian Brothers Lewisham, and I think lost only one cup final night, and that was in 83 to the Christian Brothers Fairfield. They look as though they're going well. The whole team right at it. So much keenness and aggression. They're doing most things right at the moment.
Well, what you're seeing here is a display of very methodical football. A team that takes the ball up, gets good field position, and then they've got players like Damien Kenneth and, of course, their halfback Fuller that can read a game particularly well, and they're seizing on any opportunities that are arising.
Back there taking his O'Neill, offloads it here to Coolan. Coolan coming up well, but taken by Peter Clifton, honed in, chalked up another tackle. 5 metres short of his own side of halfway, and Osborne again working it for Lewisham. 5 metres short of his own side of halfway, and at acting half as Quinn, straight away to O'Neill. Cuts out one. Fidel pops it up to Hickey. Hickey is trapped though. Finica Fallu over the top. 8 metres short of halfway, and here goes Quinn on a run. He split him, but not for long. Finica Fallu and his opposite Hodgins, and also Perrin there. But they keep it over here on the right. O'Neill. He was looking for Fidel, and Fidel was riding on his hip at about a half a metre behind. Fidel looking for line. Not exactly the best of kicks, but Fardell really puts him in general play. Here's McManus. Oh, he's got a big fend, and he's got a big run. He's up and away, this fella. He's a runner, and he serves notice that time. That's a good 45-metre burst by Damien McManus. Now Gregory's again. They're on the roll. Finica Fallu hit well by Malloy. Put away midway between the quarter and halfway. Lewisham's territory. Fuller, lovely close ball. Coming onto it, Perrin. Big 14.5 stone, vigorous player. 30 metres out, and he's injured just slightly. He'll need some trainer attention. Big Tim Perrin, when he comes boring down on you, I think even a bull-handed referee. He's such a big boy and such a tough. And here he comes. Here's McManus on a recap of McManus. He's such a beautiful winger. He's got lovely long strides, a nice swerve, as you can see, but well trapped there by Coolan. Came in and did well. Impressive defender, Coolan. But McManus, he's a runner and a half. When he's away, he really goes places. Okay, we have St Gregory's College player receiving trainer attention. How are you enjoying it at the moment, Graham? Gregory's looking good.
Well, it's been brilliant football by their 5'8 Damien Kenneth. Ross Conlon spelled it out very strongly. They have to keep their eyes on him just prior to that try of his. They're allowing him too much latitude, although he is a very, very mature player. He reads the game 2 and 3 tackles ahead. A lot of pressure on Lewisham now. They can't afford another try to this Campbelltown St Gregory side prior to half-time. That would put it beyond a doubt as far as I'm concerned. Any team can come back from 10 points, but at the present time, a lot of pressure on their scrum-based trio of Fidel, O'Neill and Hickey for Lewisham. They've got to start to get this Lewisham side a lot more organised around the rucks. They're bustled, their minds are not on the job, and their skipper's got to start driving them up the field.
Yes, their concentration has lapsed, Lewisham, in just the last 5 minutes. But urging them on, O'Neill down there. Fidel will be yapping away like you wouldn't believe. And we've found touch with a penalty going to Lewisham, about 8 metres short of halfway. Through Quinn taking the free. Ignores Sukar. Gives it now to Colasso. South's ball 85 side. He's running a defence. Lifts the side once he gets a bit of a break on. Hickey, lovely cut-out pass. That went to Hanold. Hanold brought down just short of halfway, but Lewisham with the ball and trying to run it. Here goes Malloy. Big, strong, stepping centre. Big, runs boldly, has a hand in most of the team's sorties. Very classy centre. He's got it again. Now it's offloaded to Sukar. Right, trying to thread his way through, but it's the Gregory defence that handle him. Now Hickey scoops it out to O'Neill. And O'Neill tidied up by the Gregory's defence. Finicafalou, the last one coming up on Lewisham, 30 metres out from Gregory's line. Here's Fardell with a nice little prod through, taken by Smith, up to his quarter, evades one, but Fardell is in there and buttons him down. On the quarter, Gregory's have it, roll over with Steve Nealon, and the penalty is with St Gregory's.
Yeah, John Gocher made a decision here that the Lewisham side had infringed in the play of the ball, and that's very much a relieving penalty for St Greg's. They're leading by 10-0, only 10 minutes to go to half-time, and they'd be happy to go in with a scoreboard at that.
So scrums and penalties, and the scrums 2-all, and the penalties, as you can see, Lewisham copping 4, and on the receiving end of only 1, St Gregory's. Now it's with Kirkman. With nice diversion of play. Decoys running left and right. Finicafalou had it, but they chalked up another tackle on him. In centre field, Fuller, and this time taken by Colasso. Now Whale for Gregory's. Looked after, though, a very speedy defence from Paul Dewey of Lewisham. He's a bit of a master in defence. Here goes Fuller. Anticipating the kick, and here's Kenneth. Probing and looked after there now is Kirkman. Riding him is Joseph Jennings. Good defender any time, but he has tanks of speed as well. I was just having a look at the crowd there, and another penalty has been given to St Gregory's. I missed it that time, Billy. What was it?
Well, it was for pushing in the play of the ball. You'll tend to find that the grade referees mightn't put up what some of these fellows get away with in junior football and school football. It's hands off in the play of the ball as far as these fellows are concerned.
So just watching the crowd still continuing to flow in. So here is the penalty from Gregory's, and they've found touch about 9 metres inside Lewisham's portion of halfway. So coming in for a bit of a trot is Peter Clifton. He had to try against Wright. He's a member of the Australian under-15 side. He wears jumper number 2. And big charge from Robert Hanson, does very well up front, taking the ball up. Now Finicafalou looking through the middle, and he does it too. Successful to the quarter. He's opposite Dewey around him, and Colasso.
So this is where St Greg's have got the advantage over Lewisham. They're making the hard yards in the middle of the rucks.
Right as they go the wide blind, and here is Whale getting it on to Paul Green. He puts the opposition under pressure. He's a very strong runner. Now it's whirled out to Finicafalou and through Fuller. Fuller, I thought he was going to wheel it out there to Kirkman because he was ready for it. But he did the right thing because Lewisham had 4 up in taking 2 defenders. Here is Fuller again. Moving forward to about 5 metres out. This could be dangerous as Hodgins goes for the line, held up 2 metres out. Lewisham now called on to defend, reeling again, watertight stuff needed. Diversion, Finicafalou. Oh, held up a metre out. Gregory's leading 10-0, cup final night. And a changeover of the ball. So that's a great relief for Lewisham as Colasso plays it.
It is a relief, but it'll only be a relief for as long as Lewisham can do something about getting the ball out of this 10-yard zone. They're pinned in. The St Greg's defence is very good. I don't think that a kick will be sufficient to get pressure off for them. They're going to have to do it themselves.
Lewisham, and I think you'll find that's Kevin O'Neill, the halfback for Lewisham, requiring some trainer attention. In the meantime, St Gregory's College Campbelltown on cup final night at Leichhardt, leading Christian Brothers Lewisham 10-0, and that's our scoreline. Peter Mulholland, you'd think they were behind 10-0, wouldn't you? O'Neill looks as though he's in some pain, by crikey. It'll be a great shame because O'Neill, quite apart from his experience, he played in the 84 Cup final against Greggs, but he has been the architect in attack. He presses the button. In previous games, he kicks with great accuracy, splendid service to his reports, and he's not too good on that ankle. So Fidel hitting the line. Getting a wee pass out wide. Jennings is looked after just short of the quarter. Sideline comment from Graham Hughes.
Very strong defence from Campbelltown in this first half, but one dangerous thing that they do try is that their wingers, both their wingers, play very, very deep in defence on all sets of the 6 tackles. And as we saw then, Jennings for Lewisham was able to find space and gain 10 or 15 metres out wide. With a side like Lewisham who spin the ball out through their back line, a very talented back line, that's where they can hit back if these guys from Campbelltown play too deep and they can find the overlap on both wings.
Good, Graham. Damien McManus with the ball for Gregory's, and now it's their hooker Hodgins cuts him down in winning the ball, and he never falls in around that acting half position. Here comes McManus again. You'll have to look after him, shut him down, or he's away. And they block him off on the quarter, and here's the big winger to play it once more. I thought it was going to come to Fuller, but it's Kenneth doing some lovely stuff and gets a nice ball to Clifton. Clifton going for the line. Back inside, Kenneth. Superb backup play from the 5/8.
That was good play. Kenneth read that well. He saw there was a little opportunity down the blind side. He exploited that with an in and away, and then a well held up pass. The break had been made. He backed up inside, just wasn't able to hold it as he was caught in a tackle.
Okay, with Lewisham now, a restart from the quarter, and here is Quinn. And gets a good ball there to Fidel, and he brings it up about 10 metres, race through too, which he normally does. So Quinn again moving forward with good defence coming in from Robert Hansen. There's a few nice bruising tackles too. Here's Hickey. And that's a good hoist downfield, but Damien Smith will collect it on his quarter. This is the fellow, very impressive defender and a good runner of the ball, and well taken. Was that O'Neill?
Yeah, it was a great effort by O'Neill.
Smartly, isn't he?
He has recovered, and it's necessary for Lewisham that he does recover because he's the linchpin of their attack.
Kirkman. And making good ground, real forward, on the go he was, and brought play up to 10 metres short of their own side of halfway. Finicka-Fallu looking for backup, gets it from his prop, and he's looked after by Hickey and Sukar. 3 metres short of halfway with Fuller. Looking for the touch on the inside, gets it to Kenneth, but not likely this time. Colasso is there. He's got his opposition on guard all night. Here is Kenneth. That's a nice thud, and I think he's going to find line beautifully. He does. He's pouring it out tonight. Good belt. It's good and long, and it's just a little outside, about 12 metres out from Lewisham's goal line. The scrum to go down, Lewisham's feed, and they're behind 10-0. Gregory's leading, almost half-time here. And he's having a few words now with Tim Perrin.
This is going to be a very important scrum for Lewisham. They're playing like a team that's on the ropes. Campbelltown are a very good scrummaging side, and if they can come up with this scrum against the head with just a few minutes to go on half-time, they could post even further points and put this one beyond doubt.
All right, it's Kevin O'Neill. Thankfully, so far as coach Noel Donoghue is concerned, he's recuperated. And he's made a nice dash too, the young halfback. Just over the quarter before the defence covered him. And now it's Jennings trying to get through the Fuller tackle, but Fuller is there and strikes for Gregory's. Just outside the quarter. Coming up now is Sukar. Nice little step and gains valuable 5 metres as he moved it. Now it's with Hickey. Hickey goes back on the inside, and it's a nice move too, and picked out by Whale. Stripped him of the ball, and on the outside on the right was Fidel, and there were about 4 sky blue jumpers and about 2 Gregory's defenders. But in the meantime, it's Perrin making good headwork. And now it's Gregory's again to about 12 metres out. Kirkman doing big damage. He's a very bold runner. Now onto the ball, it's Hansen taking it forward for Gregory's. It's all power, and they're trying to stem this charge, Lewisham. But now if they fly the ball, pouring it out, Finicka-Fallu, Fuller, they've got 2 up here. Nealon on the inside, picked up by Finicka-Fallu and down. 8 metres out from Lewisham's goal line. They're still on the left. No, Hodgins decides I'll run it a little, and he's 2 metres short of the goal line, and the last one coming up on Gregory's. A half a minute before half-time, Kenneth goes for the drop goal. Smart. And referee Gosha says it's a point. It's 11-0. St Gregory's of Campbelltown leading Christian Brothers Lewisham 11-0. He's a smart player, Bill.
That was good thinking. You realise there are only a few seconds to go before half-time and took the opportunity to put that extra 1 point on.
Well, there it is. listeners, to the end of an outstanding first half so far as St Gregory's are concerned. They're super best. Some talking to do in the shed so far as Lewisham is concerned with Donahue, but they've proved through the season they're never finished. Okay, the scoreline here. 11-0 St Gregory's of Campbelltown leading Christian Brothers Lewisham. Back with the cup final action after this break. Back at Leichhardt, cup final night. St Gregory's College Campbelltown at half-time, leading Christian Brothers Lewisham by 11 points to 0. But Lewisham have proved right throughout the season they're never finished. Your outlook on this second half, Bill?
Well, St Gregory's very much controlled the first half of play with methodical football. They did everything right. Their defence was sound. They held the ball for their 6 tackles. They worked the ball upfield, and then that allowed their brilliant individual players to capitalise on the opportunities that came. I thought that Lewisham made a lot of handling mistakes, but more importantly than that, their defence just didn't hold well. They gave St Gregs the opportunities, and I think they've got big problems, Lewisham.
Well, let's get a word or two from Noel Donahue, the coach of Lewisham. He's with Graham Hughes.
Noel, a disappointing first half, a lot of mistakes.
A lot of mistakes. We're falling down on fundamentals. I think Georgie Picken's right. I think you've got to get the fundamentals right. And we have every game. Tonight we've fallen down. We haven't been moving up. We've been dropping the ball and we've had it. And we're going back to 2 markers. We've been letting them make a lot of gaps up the middle. And we're still going to get back into the game. Every game we've played, we've come from behind, except in the semi-final.
Well, that's a good sign. More importantly, what was the feeling of the players in the dressing room?
Well, I think they were a bit downhearted. They were a bit shocked there. I mean, some of the key players were hurt, but we've got a lot of guts, and I think they'll come back.
All right, well, good luck. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, mate.
There's the telling part of the first half. 15 missed tackles by Lewisham, only 5 by Gregory's. Gregory's running left to right of your screen in this second half as Fuller switches direction and gets it out well to Kenneth, and Kenneth tries to make a break. Fidel is onto him, wheeled out by Nealon. Here comes McManus, rolled over there on the quarter. So Lewisham defending again, and it's Gregory's wheeling this ball out to Finicka-Fallu and taken well by Kirkman, breaking one. He's on a run. He's got it back on the inside. Fuller trapped though by Fidel, and it's 12 metres out from the goal line. Last one coming up on Gregory's. Finicka-Fallu gets it out to Whale. Whale looking to line his player up. He can't set him free, and he's out on a touch and a scrum to go down. 5 metres out from Lewisham's goal line, and pressure again on the old Sky Blue and goals. But they haven't flinched. Relentless with their tackling. The scrums 3-2 in favour of Lewisham. So O'Neill is the young halfback at the base, is limping badly still. Here's Kirkman feeding a good pass. Nice close one to Kenneth. Kenneth very hard to neutralise here tonight, opening up his complete box of skills. Straight away to Fuller. Finicka-Fallu, first one off the ruck practically.
Big scrum for that one for St Gregs to win. It's the third one that they've won this game against the feed, and they've just got too much ball against Lewisham. I don't know that they can withstand this sort of pressure of possession against them.
Here's Nealon trying to line up, and there's a lovely cutout pass to McManus, but well held this Lewisham defence, and forced him to touch, but carried him over the touch line, and a penalty is with Gregory's, and the offender there was Kevin O'Neill. So Gregory's applying the pressure again, and it'll be Hodgins, only 5 metres out. Nice ball to Green, and Green, oh gee, I thought he was nearly over there. He must be only about 1.5 metres out. So swung to Fuller. Fuller getting it to Hansen. Hansen blocked 8 metres out. Here is Kenneth again. Geez, elusive. They'll have to contain him and force him back. But I think are they over? Referee Gosha says a try. A try to Gregory's over in the far corner. We'll check it out on replay here, but that's another one.
A good play here by Kenneth. He elected to run from dummy half, brought 2 and 3 defenders into him, but he was able to slip the ball away. You can see here his support looms up, the numbers obscured from us from this particular angle. There's no doubt the ball did go down, and referee Gocha was in a great position to see it.
Yes, I think that's McManus, because once on a break he snaps away, I'll tell you what, he'll really burn off. But that was a close ball by Kenneth beautifully, and the big powerful winger, just a matter of just going over with 2 clinging to him to force it down. So Gregory's 15 leading Lewisham 0. And Kenneth now will attempt to convert this try about a couple of metres in from touch, and it's about 15 metres out from the goal line. And Lewisham clustered behind their goal line, tired. They look aching and weary and a little battered. A lot of people here might be thinking they're a lost cause, but you certainly can appreciate their commitment. Here he comes. And that brown leather ball, it flies to the left of the upright. So the scoreline on Cup final night, St Gregory's College Campbelltown going further ahead, leading Lewisham by 15-0. St Gregory's, you're watching them here tonight unleashing their power, but they've unleashed a display of attacking football right throughout the year. They downed Ingleburn High 38-6, Belmore High 38-0, Cronulla de Sal 2012, Caringbah High 42-0, Holy Cross Ride 12-0, and Keebra Park High, the best school in Queensland, and can they base that fact, 10-6. And that was only just last week. Hodgins on a workaround with Fuller and coming through straight, Finicka-Fallu. Hodgins at acting half. And coming the right is Whale. And piggybacking Kevin O'Neill to the quarter. Isn't that commitment from Lewisham tonight as they pour this ball out? Good spinning through Fuller. Out wide is Nealon, then looked after by Hickey. Short of Lewisham's goal line. And changeover. At the ball with Lewisham. And Malloy getting a pass to Sukar. And O'Neill, and it's put down by Fidel. So when you're hot, you're hot. And when you're one of the ugly sisters, you continue to be just that, don't you, Bill? It's the run of play.
Yes, Lewisham getting very frustrated. Some of the players just can't concentrate on the job now. I think they've accepted the fact that this game's gone from their grasp, but what they've got to recognise is that all isn't lost. They could turn this into a cakewalk if they don't concentrate on the game, and St Greg's could absolutely whitewash them. But I think they've got a lot to prove, Lewisham. If they can just hang in this game, maybe register points, they can move with their heads up.
Clifton working beautifully with Kenneth after he made a nice break on a fairly thin blind, but Gregory's with the ball through Hodgins and Finicka-Fallu, turning it over to Lewisham, and Lewisham breathe again. Tonight, incidentally, $8,000 worth of National Panasonic equipment will be distributed to these two schools. Tonight's winner will take back to their school $5,000 worth, and the runners-up $3,000 in TV equipment by National. It comes from that great National Panasonic company, and we again express our thanks to the company for their enthusiastic support for this competition. They've been with us since the year dot, back in 1975, the inaugural year, and a competition that has become one of the great breeding grounds for rugby league stars of the future. It's 15-0 our scoreline here on Cup final night. Gregory's leading Christian Brothers Lewisham. Lewisham in possession. And Quinn getting it to Sukar. He's 15 metres out from his goal line. Now Fidel. Desperately trying to turn on a break here, as we know he can. It's through O'Neill, Hickey. Now Malloy runs beautifully onto the ball. Bad. Couldn't pick it up, though. Hickey off his knee. And that's been their story all night, Lewisham, not being able to control this ball. Finicka-Fallu in his customary charge style. A big challenge from the second rower. Hodgins putting the big prop Tim Perrin almost through, and it's Kenneth again making mayhem here tonight. Held up by Fidel. And losing the ball with the scrum to go down on the quarter.
It's amazing, John, and I know that Graham Hughes would agree with me, that no matter what level of football it is, if you just play the fundamentals, you don't make mistakes in attack and you don't make mistakes in defence, you're just so hard to beat. You don't have to do anything else. Anything else is the icing on the cake.
Well, that's the problem, Bill. They've been trying to push the football right from the start of the game. They didn't settle down at all, Lewisham. They came up with a lot of mistakes, a lot of free ball for St Greg's, and it's just been a case of far too much ball, a very well-drilled outfit, St Greg's, and an excellent 5'8" who's called the shots all night.
Here's a nice break. Lewisham, Coolan, and a great runner at fullback. He runs beautifully from the deep. Came onto the ball well. Through Jennings. Quinn has it. Now O'Neill. Hickey. Wide ball here to Malloy. Looks for backup. Gets it from Hickey to halfway. And Gregory's good defence. But Lewisham have made up excellent 40 metres there. A fly ball to O'Neill. Back now to Dewey. And they're almost to halfway. 10 minutes gone in the second half. They're behind 15-0. O'Neill, well, there it is again. Just not control of the ball. And Gregory's through Hodgins. Racing it away, another valuable 8 metres. Finicka-Falloon. Kenneth for the line. Jennings is back there, but it's a glorious kick. Again, another 35-metre gain from Kenneth. And he's having such a game here tonight. He's had a busy game and none keener than he. And there it is on replay again. He's got such an accurate boot.
I don't always agree with those tactics of kicking for the sideline, but because St Greg's are scrummaging so well and they've won now 3 scrums against the feed, I think it's a great tactic, and that now makes it 4. So kicking for the sideline for them is proving fruitful.
Well, he's been deadly in attack. He's certainly the dominant player out there tonight. Kenneth, and Wales scoops it out to Fuller. Close ball to Finicka-Falloon. Hickey has him under control. 5 metres out from Lewisham's goal line, but they're in the van. Gregory's again through Kenneth. Fuller. Now it's Nealon, looked after about 10 metres out from Lewisham's goal line. Kirkman at acting half. He goes for a scanter. 4 metres out as they take him, and it's all Gregory's. Now Kenneth. Nice reverse to Finicka-Falloon. And one again of his typical charges, laid down about 2 metres out from Lewisham's goal line. The last one coming up.
Field goal.
The Sky Blues and Maroons, and Kenneth again. Successful. It's 16-0. 16-0 in favour of St Gregory's over Christian Brothers Lewisham. He's got a keen eye. He's a crisp, noteworthy footballer, involved in everything and causes just so much turmoil. So there it is in our second half on Cup final night after 11 minutes of play. St Gregory's Campbelltown 16 leading Christian Brothers Lewisham 0. Kenneth chopping it down a couple of metres out from his goal line and off for a run again. And it took the tackle then of Hanold to stop any further progress of Kenneth. And Gregory's making good gains, 8, 9 and 10 metres from each ruck. Green running contemptuously as he just fended off a couple of defenders.
If we were to watch this Lewisham defensive line, John, we'd see that they're making tackles where they stand, and by that I mean they're not moving up. They're not going up to make tackles. They're going back the 5 metres, and then they're letting St Greg's bring the ball right to them before they make a tackle. That's a big start to give your opposition.
Yes, well, you saw then the pass coming from Robert Hansen and knocked down by Hanold. So a scrum 10 metres short. There's the readout of the scrums and penalties. St Gregory's winning 5, Lewisham 4, and in the penalties 4 have been awarded Lewisham, 3 Gregory's. Now it's another one to Greggs, and Fuller trapped by his opposite O'Neill. He gives a splendid service to his supports. The young halfback for Lewisham, he kicks goals for Wests in Aussie rules at the weekend. Hodgins serving it up to Whale, and Sukar is there. Closes in on his quarry. Now Kenneth. When you're blessed, aren't you? Oh, blimey.
He never had much room to work in at all here. You could see it on the replay. He kicked that from about on the 10-yard line, which gave him 10 metres to work in. It landed about 2 metres in from touch and bounced along the line and then went out. That's a great judicious kick. Oh, and another one against the feet. They've just got too much ball here.
Here's Whale. Easy ball out here to Clifton. Well taken. Metre short. But he put his foot out. And a scrum to go down. A little bit of passion coming from and rhubarb from Kevin O'Neill, I think. Completely frustrated. Lewisham can't do a thing right. And Kenneth, of course, doing it all for Gregory's. But it's a beautiful team effort, quite apart from Kenneth's contribution as Fuller makes good ground on the blind. Out Clifton from acting half. Fidel doing the stopping. Tim Perrin. Now through Hodgins. Kirkman. 5 metres out from Lewisham's goal line. And Gregory's, if they get it out to the left, although there's pretty good defence there. Out wide. Oh, Smith over. Lovely try. Gregory's. A reminder again of what a classy footballer he is when he links. Fella they don't like when he runs, and a nice gem of a try as he linked up fluently, and that's Darren Smith, their fullback.
The case here of just too much possession, too much class. Smith's a great runner from the backfield. He read this well. It was a cutout pass that put him into the gap, and he finished it off.
Well, the Gregory's forward momentum has snowballed into an avalanche here, and the strong performers in the backs, and there's another instance of it with Darren Smith going over and putting in an enormous effort from fullback. So St Gregory's College, determined forwards, and their backs are nippy and very solid here, and summoning all their experience. Tremendous amount of representation peppered through their side, and really showing some class football here tonight. So Finucane has this one 10 metres in from touch, almost on the quarter. Oh, he nearly came out of his boots, but not successful. So the scoreline remains on Cup final night. St Gregory's College Campbelltown leading Christian Brothers Lewisham 20-0. Noel Donoghue, a man very keen, young, power pack league brain. He had a stint in Tamworth for 9 years with when he teamed with Roy Masters, and from there on in he's had successive wins and goals to his credit. Very distinguished career. He'd be very disappointed here tonight. But on the other hand, coach Peter Mulholland, who's done the job with the college and done the job that they wanted. He's put them on the road to final night, and there he is with a contented look. Very briefly, he's watched and certainly nurtured some of his players reach a maturity here beyond their experience. Again, well done, Peter Mulholland. 20-0. Whale gets it up there on the blind, and good running from Hanson. Rang like a winger, did the prop. 10 metres into Lewisham's territory. They're running them off their feet through Kenneth and Finucane. And held up now as they harness him well, 10 metres inside Lewisham's half.
Lewisham must be getting knocked up here from tackling, because that's all they seem to have done in the second half of this match. They've done nothing but tackle, 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 and that just takes its toll.
Well, the two met in the final in '84. Gregory's won it 10-6. Lewisham, they felt they were full on youth tonight and full on experience and full on endeavour, and they were going to refuse to buckle. They were going to hit their peak and epitomise a great high school worthy of the cup. Well, Graham Hughes, disappointing from Lewisham. I know a lot of people tipped them tonight.
Well, that is a disappointing performance. We keep on handing out all the raps tonight for Kenneth and the St Greg backs, who are starting to pick up all the dregs now. A great performance by their forward pack. Gareth Hodgins, of course, he's come up with I think 4 or 5 scrums against the feed. That's him with the ball now. If I was the principal out St Greg's way tomorrow, I'd be saying, listen, Gareth, you're the local hero tomorrow. Day off, son.
Graham Hughes with comments there.
Well, bet all the kids wish Graham was the boss.
Yeah, do they ever? So Kenneth out wide. Nealon trapped 10 metres out from Lewisham's goal line. It's all the sky blue and maroon striped jumpers. They seem to be 3 against 1 most of the time. Here is McManus from acting half. So here it comes back through Hodgins. Now Paul Green. His brother David playing for Penrith on the wing, and a former member of a victorious St Gregory's College Campbelltown side. And his brother Paul, very hurtful in defence, and certainly a very, very strong runner.
Well, I hope for Lewisham's sake, because they've tried so hard tonight, that they can put points on the board. They haven't stopped trying. They just haven't performed and produced the sort of football we know they're capable of. But they've got 13 boys on the field who can be proud of themselves.
Well, they might be swallowing hard at the moment, Billy, but I can tell you that all of them out there are saying, try and move us off this Leichhardt. All their fans still believing in a resurgence of spirit here. There's a lovely cutout. Sukar.
Well, that's the sort of football they like to play.
Malloy coming here to Jennings. Tight on the line, though, and well taken. Peter Clifton, Australian under-15 representative. Now Fidel. Hickey. Taken well. Darren Smith. Up to halfway. Evades Hanold. But Jennings coming in from the left flank did it well and guns him down. 5 metres now into Lewisham's territory. Kirkman from acting half. And it's again Fidel in there. in combination with Henold. Now Clifton moving it forward for Campbelltown. Now Green again. Green on the run, ploughing into them, up to the quarter. Couldn't unload that ball to Hodgins, who moves in smartly to acting half and gives it to Kenneth, and there's reverse play again. Nice switch to Finicafaloo. Wild, lovely ball to Fuller. Couldn't loop it over. He was going to balloon it up to Darren Smith, who was up on the line again. Now Hodgins from acting half. Oh, don't tell me. They stood like statues. Change over of the ball, 5 metres out from Lewisham's goal line. Graham Hughes has some Gregory's coach, Peter Mulholland.
Peter, you couldn't have asked for a finer performance, really, from the side.
It's been an exceptional performance, Graham. The boys have really put their mind to it tonight. They've had a hard game last week and they've come back really strongly. Most positive.
And the way it has to be in a final, their mistake rate's been right down.
Yes, we worked on that last week. We had a few drop balls and they've worked pretty hard, being conscious of their handling skills, and we've worked on it during the week.
Big performance from the forwards, and especially the hooker.
Yeah, they've told us our strength's been in the forwards, and tonight that they've proved it. And the hooker deserves a holiday, like you suggested a while ago. He's been really well, but we've done a lot of scrum work, and that's what's kept us in the game, kept us ahead.
Well, Peter, it is a credit to your side, but I believe you've got the skill principal here, Brother Jeffrey. Brother, I was on air saying a few moments ago the hooker's won 4 or 5 scrums against the feet. I've already given him tomorrow off.
Well, he certainly deserves it, but I think he's a pretty keen student. I think he might be keen enough to stay on skill, but he certainly had a great game tonight, Graham.
All right, well done for both of you.
Thanks, Graham. Thanks very much.
Brother Jeffrey's the principal out there at St Gregory's after a stint at St Joseph's College at Hunters Hill, and quite an outstanding coach in football himself, I'm to understand. But it's his college at the moment in possession with Lewisham trying to come in there and operating on sheer courage as they gear up and fuel in with the tackles as Robert Hansen takes it forward, makes a beautiful break up over halfway, collected though by good sky blue defence with the gold V's, and now it's Gregory's with Hodgins doing some exceptionally good work from acting half here tonight. He's bored through time and time again, and he's had them on the roll, getting his supports moving. And there's a beautiful cutout pass to Hansen. Here's McManus up to the quarter, but it was a forward pass, and Gacia spot on, bringing it back now. And here come the brigade. Number 14 for Lewisham. 14 is Elias Shrewer. 15 is John Falazzo, and 16 is Joe Farhat. They're the substitutions for Christian Brothers Lewisham. The result here that tonight, having a look at the board at 20-0, that has shocked the hardy Lewisham supporters. It's a school that's certainly given its share of talent to the league code. Just assess the talent of, as Hickey makes good ground, Timmy Pickup and the Gearin brothers, and Canterbury secretary Peter Moore, Stephen Humphreys, Michael Speechley, Bill Ackery, I forget how many more, but the boys have reason to be satisfied with that contribution to rugby league, and there'll be more playing grade from their ranks tonight. They showed promise, they stood out at times, but Greg soldiered on and gave a very strong, committed performance. And they look like taking the title here. But Lewisham very gallant, very proud, gave a tireless effort. There's Gregory's now with about 6 minutes of the match remaining and leading 20-0. And Perrin pumping forward. Stretched it, and here's Hodgins again. He's been never tiring in his effort here tonight. Now Fuller from acting half, and wrapped up by Joe Farhat. Kenneth moving it to the left with Whale and looking for the loop pass. He didn't get the return pass, but now he's on a charge. Oh, out 2-3, Kenneth with beautiful footwork. Out wide, and it's intercepted by Lewisham, and I think it could have been Jennings. It's Coolan, actually, and Coolan 10 metres out from his goal line. And bringing it forward now is Joe Farhat. And Lewisham, all they got to do is plough it away from their goal line. Sukar, nice pass, Fidel, almost up over the quarter. And Neymaka, and he punches the line again. Scoops it out here to O'Neill. O'Neill still moving almost to halfway. So this is the last one coming up on Lewisham. Fidel grabbing it through to McManus. Big physical man. Give him freedom and shut the gate. So still they come. This time Darren Smith to halfway. Fuller gives it to Whale. And Anthony Whale, he's brought up 100 tackles here tonight, I reckon, but so resourceful in attack. Farhat again, bringing the runner to ground, and the runner happened to be Hodgins. Hungry for opening around the rucks all night he's been. Finickagaloo taking it from Kenneth, and this is the last one on Gregory's. 20-0 Gregory's lead. Kenneth. There's the high ball, looking for it is Coolin. Oh, one of his uncharacteristic mistakes. Picked up Irwin. Tried by Fuller, their halfback. It's all St Gregory's. Big try from a big competitor with a big heart. Never been off the boil all night. He serviced beautifully and he chased well there. Fuller the halfback.
Everything that St Greg's has done tonight has turned to goal. This time it was a bomb that was put up. The fullback Coolin wasn't under a lot of pressure, but he had to rush to take the ball. He came up with a fumble. Fuller was on the spot and picked it up and scored a well-deserved try.
Here it is, the up ball, and beautifully delivered by Kenneth again. And here is Coolin coming across, and normally he has no heartburn. He's always an immaculate handler. Slooped through, and Fuller picks it up for over she goes with Elias Sura in pursuit. Well, there it is, and it's 24-0. St Gregory's Campbelltown over Christian Brothers Lewisham, and I think the easiest of shots that Kenneth or Finickagaloo have had all night. So here he comes, lovely control, accurately, and the other 2 points. St Gregory's College Campbelltown, the cup well and truly theirs, leading Lewisham Christian Brothers 26-0 on cup final night. Well, St Gregory's, they've earned cup fame right through their very cool, calm and methodical approach. They've capitalised on weaknesses not exposed at Lewisham before tonight. A spectacular affair from Gregory's. I think it's had the crowd on tenterhooks. So splendid has their football been, and Green just running amok at the moment. Tackling has been torrid. Their attack's so creative. They're backing up very, very effective. And this number 14 on is Paul Stevens. Very glittering, very deserving win here by St Gregory's College Campbelltown. And they will equal the Christian Brothers Fairfield record of 4 cup wins. They won it in 79, in 1980, in 1984, and they're going to win it tonight. They lost out to Patrician Brothers Fairfield in 83. So Lewisham's ball. It's with Hickey. Now Malloy. But this defence of St Gregory's is just watertight. Fuller in there doing some defensive work, upping them down, and that's about the only thing that they can revert to as Clifton regathers the ball, but we'll have a scrum with Clifton. No room in which to move or work. And you can see just how tight on the line he was, desperately trying to keep it in the field of play. This is Hanson coming off. Now Lewisham, O'Neill. Nothing can go right for them. Hickey wanted to take it hard and straight. I remember him turning on a beautiful 70-metre try. I think it was against Parramatta Marist High. Hickey, their 5'8", has a lot of speed and cajoles and drives all night. But they haven't had it tonight, Lewisham. They're out there to avenge their defeat to Gregory's in 84. But Gregory's have been most convincing here tonight. Laid on the pressure from the outset and came up with a win. They've just actually tormented the defence here. As they work it now to about 9 metres short of their own side of halfway. Sheer class. Sparkle like the old Wolf place here tonight, I'll tell you. So laid back here for Patrick Maloney. He was a substitution on there with Paul Stevens. And number 15 is on Rowan O'Brien. And Kenneth again. Not finding touch this time. Coolan, number 17, coming out for Lewisham, and that happens to be Joe DiGiulio. Fans of St Gregory's College. Very rowdy here. I don't know whether you can pick them up, but and there it is. Full time. St Gregory's College gave us some beautifully conceived rugby league here tonight to earn the title, the Commonwealth Bank Cup. They've defeated Lewisham by 26 points to 0, champions for 86, and as you can well detect by from what you've seen on your screen, they enjoyed their football tonight. And out Campbelltown way, the flags, I reckon, would be unfurled, the drinks are on, and there would be much rejoicing and singing out Campbelltown. Final scoreline, St Gregory's College Campbelltown 26 have defeated Christian Brothers Lewisham 0, and so equaling Patrician Brothers Fairfield record of winning the cup on 4 occasions. Just reiterating, they won it in 79, in 1980, in 1984. They were firm favourites throughout the year to win it, but Lewisham was the side that was going to down them. But as it turned out tonight, it was Campbelltown from the opening minutes of play, and they played accordingly all the way through till the final hooter. 26-0, that's the final scoreline. We'll take a break and then return in just a moment. And the 1986 Cup champions, St Gregory's College Campbelltown. Cup final, it did clarify that they are the best high school side in Australia, Lewisham not far behind. And their skipper, Tissi Finicafaloo, leading them up there, leading his boys, I think, that are still fired up to meet the distinguished guests. And they will be presented the cup through the New South Wales Minister for Youth and Community Affairs, Peter Anderson. He probably was hoping that a Penrith side may have been here tonight. Mr. Alan Colwell, the Senior Manager of Community Relations for the Commonwealth Banking Corporation. And up she goes. There it is, the cup, school supremacy in Australia, St Gregory's College Campbelltown. What a moment. And of course we have the President of the New South Wales Rugby League, Mr. Tom Bellew, and representing Channel 10, Mr. George Brown. But credit to their displays and accolades must go to their coaches, Peter Mulholland of St Gregory's, Noel Donoghue of Lewisham. And it was a final, played accordingly, worked perfectly for Gregory's, and again played in the finest spirit of rugby league. And everyone, of course, participates in the awards here tonight as the cup is handed from one to the other. The players and the referee and touch judges and coaches, they will each receive a memento, and shouldn't they ever, because each man gave his heart and soul. What a year for St Gregory's. They've won their own Campbelltown knockout in this, their Diamond Jubilee year. And Brother Jeffries, their principal here tonight, the rest of the staff, justifiably proud. Peter Mulholland, their coach, receiving the accolades and now handling the cup. And to cap it off, John Gosher, about to receive his memento, touch judges and so on. But they've capped it off with the Commonwealth Bank Cup, a college that boasts great pride, great tradition, sporting and academic achievements, and it happens to be their year. And now the voting in tonight's Player of the Year award. 1 point went to Tim Perrin, the 2 points went to Gareth Hodgins, the hooker for St Gregory's, and the 3 points went to Damien Kenneth. They are 5/8, and those points tonight now determine that the 86 Commonwealth Bank Cup Player of the Year is Damien Kenneth. On your screens at home now, like a smiling like a watermelon from cheek to cheek. He'll receive the Pro Road 2000 exercise machine, courtesy of Hydra Fitness and Christian Brothers Lewisham. Set for the upset of the year. It just didn't come off, but what affinity has been created within this team, a school that must have been tremendous these past 4 months. And as you've gathered with so many names, they're Australian boys and ethnic flavoured names right throughout the side, and that means great news for the code of rugby league. And didn't they win hearts all over Australia? And what a dynamic footballing school, and talent scouts will be impressed with what they saw here tonight. And there it is, the prestigious cup that you'll see on your screens through Channel 10 at home. And Damien Kenneth, our player of the year, they're going over to their supporters now, and they will be able to give them the warmth and show their appreciation of the skills and the enthusiasm and the courage that they've shown right throughout the season. One of the most enterprising football sides we've seen on cup final night. And I might mention a young man of action, Damien Kenneth, our player of the year, and his rugby league future looks pretty rosy too. So here is the Commonwealth Bank Cup being held high by the boys from St Gregory's College, Campbelltown. And I think, as I said in our broadcast, a very methodical approach to their match tonight. Very calm, very cool. And Tissi Finicafaloo, their skipper. I don't think there'd be a prouder man on Leichhardt Oval at the moment as he's carried to his supporters on the popular side of the ground, the hillside at Leichhardt, and receiving the accolades from his team members. And what a team it's been. So there it is, a super night, some of the school greats on parade for you, and playing for Australia, symbol of the best in high school rugby league, the Commonwealth Bank Cup. We will take a break on our Channel 10 network and rejoin you with Bill Anderson's comments after this break. College Campbelltown defeating Christian Brothers Lewisham here tonight, and I think their most prestigious win of the season, Commonwealth Bank Cup champions for 1986, and equaling Patrician Brothers Fairfield's record. And I think they're entitled to celebrate. Their football was fantastic tonight. I think all one had to do was sit back and stare at their marvellous attack and torrid defence.
It was a great game, John. I thought it was a triumph, really, for methodical football. That's the way St Gregory's approached it. They had a very professional approach to this match. They had a good game plan, and the players were able to carry it out. But I think, just in summary, we should say that there was no real standout team in 1986 in the Commonwealth Bank Cup. But if after a couple of rounds we had to pick a winner, I suppose it would have been St Gregory's, and that's the way it turned out.
Yes, well, I thought that Queensland gave us class, Ballina gave us a surprise, and Merriong nearly gave us an ups, but you're right.
We went through a series of 4 or 5 weeks where to be the favourite in the Commonwealth Bank Cup was a disadvantage because they were all getting beaten.
That's right. So St Gregory's the champions for 86. And just in winding up, this is our 12th year of the Commonwealth Bank Cup. Incidentally, Damien Kenneth, our player of the year. And of course he wins that Pro Row 2000 valued at $4,000, and by courtesy of Hydra Fitness. Billy Anderson works out on one every day, and Damien, I know that you're going to enjoy it along with the celebrations tonight. We'd like to thank you in conclusion for your support, the viewers through Channel 10 in Sydney, Channel O in Brisbane, and certainly the schools that have participated, over 150 we had, and for a fantastic open competition. And of course to the Commonwealth Bank Cup and Network 10 that are forever assisting high school football throughout Australia and the youth of Australia in general. Nice one, 10. Nice one, Commonwealth Bank. Thanks to Ray O'Donnell, our statistician throughout the year, Billy Anderson, who has been our co-compere and done a marvellous job as convener of the Commonwealth Bank Cup. Take a bow.
Thanks very much, John. It's a position I enjoyed.
Good one, Bill. You did a tremendous job. On behalf of Bill, Ray O'Donnell, I'm John Brennan, and on behalf of the Commonwealth Bank Cup, good night to you.
Next, Susie and her divorced husband celebrate their ex-wedding anniversary in a different way on My Wife Next Door.